All right. Thanks for tuning back in. It is the top of the hour, so that means it is time for another testimony from one of our students. And we are lucky enough to have Anthony with us in the studio. So I guess you could clap for him wherever you're at if you wanted to. You don't have to. But yes, there we go. There we go. Thank you. So he's going to share some of his story with us, and I know God's going to work through it. So just for everybody out there, just what do you think are some of the things that kind of led you down into the pit of addiction, Anthony?
Into the pit of addiction. You know, I grew up with a mom who really loved me, and she was a single mother, and she married my stepdad, and he was really violent and abusive, and I don't think that I valued myself at all. My mom was, she believed in God, and my stepdad supposedly did as well, and I didn't desire a relationship at all with God after some of the stuff that had transpired with him, so it kind of made it easy to open up that door, you know. And also I was just an idolater. I've always wanted something to make me feel better, you know.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of led up to you getting into Teen Challenge and becoming a part of the program?
I first came to Teen Challenge after being incarcerated for 18 months in the state of New Mexico State, and I was accepted into Teen Challenge. Before that, you know, I was an intravenous heroin user and crack addict and all that stuff, you know. And I came to Teen Challenge, and I've come back several times. God's been drawing me back because, you know, there's been a big disconnect between, you know, what I know is true and I think what I believe about God and the way that I see Him and see myself. So I've not managed at all so far to walk out a Christian walk and operate as a man of God outside of here. And His grace has continually brought me back. I've stumbled quite a bit along the way. You know.
Well, the thing is that we all stumble, we all fall short. Sanctification is a process, and it takes time. Anthony's one of our restoration students. It's a program that we have for guys who've come through, completed traditional Teen Challenge, but have had some sort of setbacks, whether it be using drugs or other things. And even for those of us, I think, who haven't done a restoration, we've all had to have some form of restoration in different areas, because that's just part of walking out your faith with God, is, you know, learning those little things that He keeps, you know, picking at you every step of the way, that, you know, and things that He's doing to purify you. Because at the end of the day, we're all addicted to something. So it's really about working through those things and seeing how God can use our struggles to bring us closer to Him. But specifically during this time that you've been in restoration here at the ranch for a few months now, what are some of the things that God's been teaching you?
He's shown me, He's really he's shown me that He's not who I saw Him as, I guess. You know, I think I've thought of God as waiting for me to mess up so that He can punish me. and I've been trying to snub out sin in my life and perform well and do things well, and it's been exhausting, and I've not been trusting God's grace to carry me at all. And so what he's doing is teaching me how to trust and showing me that he is completely trustworthy.
Well, I got to say, man, I've got a lot of respect for you. I think it takes a lot of strength to come back, to admit you need restoration. For some guys, it's too hard, and for a lot of us as men, pride can really get in the way of admitting that we need help. And unfortunately, that's something that happens a lot of times, is we struggle with things that we don't want to, but if we're just stuck trying to do it on our own, things aren't going to change. You have to be willing to get to the point of saying, God, whatever you need to do to make this thing turn around, I'm willing to do it. So what do you feel like God's calling you to do maybe after you finish this time of restoration?
God willing, I'm going to stay here for a while.
Okay.
I don't see any reason to leave. I don't even know what else I do, you know. I've not been satisfied trying to seek some career and make a lot of money. I don't see what else to do besides ministry, and I know you can minister anywhere, but yeah.
Well, I think we'd be lucky to have you stick around, and I know for me, the thing I continue to find out from working here is that even though I'm here to help people, I feel like you guys probably help me more than I help you. So, sorry, I guess, I don't know, but it's all for the good, you know. I think that's what God does. He puts us in situations of saying, oh, you know, I'm a leader, I'm in charge, but then he's teaching you more than the people that he's calling you to lead. And that's just kind of how God switches things on us a little bit. The higher you go in the world, the less accountability. The higher you go with God, the more of it. Mm-hmm. And the more transparency, and that's what he does to break those things off us. So thanks, Anthony, for taking some time to share your story with us. Please smash that like button if you enjoyed Anthony's testimony. I just had to make Jake cringe there a little bit. Feel free, please do. By feel free is what I mean is please do. Check out the link in the description. Head on over to www.azgives.org/TCAZ. We really want to thank everybody who's already donated today. We really appreciate that. And we pray that you would consider donating as well. Our goal for this year is $25,000, and we're a quarter of the way there. So every little bit helps, and this is what it goes to, is helping out guys like Anthony. So thank you so much. We'll be back at 2 o'clock with another testimony.
Marijuana and alcohol when I was 12 years old. A year ago, I noticed that my drinking started to spiral, and I started working at a bar and was introduced to cocaine. My parents then told me about Teen Challenge in October of last year. I was put into induction, and 3 days into it, I found Christ. Ever since then, he's been doing work on me little by little. It wasn't until recently where I've been able to actually see physical changes. With Christ, I actually care about my body and well-being. I want to live and live healthily, and I finally have a family that is proud to call me their son. Please support the Christian Life Ranch for AZ Gives Day by making a charitable contribution by clicking the link below.